as a driver, I'm always traveling. Obviously, the tracks are scattered all over the U.S. There's one in Canada this year that we already went to. We just landed here in Cleveland, which is, we're going to Mid-Ohio. It's a great track, super fun. But yeah, luckily I don't mind traveling too much because I got to do a lot of it. So just landed in Cleveland, about 2 hours from Fort Lauderdale, where we were. And so we're gonna go from here to Mid-Ohio and then to Lime Rock. It's gonna be a fun couple weekends. This weekend was in Mid-Ohio. I had tested there previously. Actually, my first ever USF Juniors test was there. But unfortunately, that day was quite wet. We didn't get much representative running, but we had come back for a mid-season test. There we got a lot more representative running. It was a little bit mixed, the mid-season test. I think towards the start we were good, and then in the end we just struggled a little bit. But yeah, Mid-Ohio is a track where the conditions can change very quick, especially if there's rain. When it gets rain, when it's hot, the track becomes very slick. So it's definitely a tricky track, but it's also a ton of fun.
The car like this, okay? You're making the turn, you're like this, okay? You're going the turn. You do like this, and then it's gonna be a problem. You need to like load the thing, like you see, like load the difference from here to here, the water. You do like this, the whole thing keeps moving. It's the same, the car.
Just finished up the first day here, 2 tests. We finished P5 in both of them. Just a couple tenths to find tomorrow. I know where it's at, so it should be easy to improve and fight for pole tomorrow. The car's feeling good, so just need to fix a couple things and we'll be in a good spot.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Tours. What a morning it is being here. Those of you who are tuning in and following us on the YouTube channel, thank you so much for being along for the ride here. In the waiting number 88, Victor Couto is going to start from 13th. Work to be done for the rookie Couto in the 88, but again, rolling off from the inside.
For the first race, we had a rough qualifying. I think the team in general, we weren't exactly in the window we wanted to be, so we were starting 13th. During the start, I made up a position, but unfortunately in the third corner, I got caught up in a wreck. It's just one of those things, sometimes when you're on the outside, you know, trying to make something happen, through no fault of your own, you can get caught in something like that. We had some damage on the rear that we carried for the rest of the race, and also we destroyed the front wing, which is not ideal. I had to come in to box. We changed the front wing. Luckily, there was a safety car, which meant I was able to catch back up to the back of the field. But obviously, then you're restarting from like 25th all the way at the tail end, and that's not ideal. We made up some positions throughout the rest of the race, but I think with the damage on the rear that we were already carrying from the first crash, it was just super hard to drive. And I lost it in the first corner towards the end of the race, and we dropped all the way back from all the progress that we had made. So yeah, a really rough race. I think some things I could have done different, but we just definitely got caught up in a bit of a mess, and trying to dig ourselves out was tough. You saw the rear?
The rear?
The push rod or tie rod, whatever the hell that is. Yeah. You need to see the onboard. Like, it's like... And then I decide the only time I actually drop it is in the fucking last lap. Like a moron. It's unbelievable.
After
Yeah, after fucking 20 laps of this shit.
Bro, look
No,
at
you
this
need to
shit.
see turn 4.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You got raped, bro. No, but that was optimal. I saw the future and I knew that this was gonna happen. You didn't see this?
No, I saw it in my mirror. I was like, what the hell is this, bro? I swear.
Leo, that was not the same.
Wait, I saw it in my...
Send it, Leo. See, Kennedy is the leader, right? And then he goes now. And then I'm up the inside. But it's green already.
I almost killed both of you guys. That was really fucking close. Did you see it? Oh, dude, I had to avoid you guys. And then I kind of punched the survivor
Dude,
off.
we had like an all fucking Zanella crash.
Yeah, but what are we doing? Walking.
No, he didn't break already.
Dude, I almost got taken out with you.
So when something like that happens, and stop it there, you see that all the cars are in line one with the other. Stay behind him. You are gonna hurt everybody less
if you hit his gearbox. You know what I mean? So just right here, you're not gonna gain any position. If you're gonna go, you just go on the gearbox, you know?
Despite how the first race went, it's always cool to be with IndyCar. This is actually our only round in USF Juniors that we are alongside IndyCar and alongside the Indy Next teams. So it's great to be with them and to be able to see where you want to go, you know. Everybody's goal in the juniors paddock is to get to IndyCar or at least a series like that. So being with them, seeing the teams, seeing the drivers, getting to actually watch them race and practice and qualify and see how that environment is awesome. So despite how the first race went, it was good to be around in that environment, and I think that helped reset a little bit.
The first time we had an autograph session, I thought that was the coolest thing ever to see my kid there, you know, giving an autograph. The attitude of the fans and the seriousness of the fans, some of them had bags of like Hot Wheel cars so the kids could sign. This one guy really stuck with me because he showed up with blown up pictures, like 8x10 pictures of each of the kids' cars. So he gets up to Victor with a beautiful picture of his car. I don't know how he did that, if it was from that weekend already or if he took it before, I don't know, but this picture of his car for him to sign. It's like these people there were expecting to be interacting with the next stars of IndyCar. Like maybe one day this autograph is gonna be worth something because this could be an IndyCar champion one day. That was amazing.
Victor started in motorsports because we made a mistake. We took him out on the track one day. I want to say I didn't make the mistake, my wife made the mistake. She took him on the track. That was the first mistake right then and there, take him for karting. Second mistake is we took him again.
I had a little bit to do with the fact that we have a race car driver in the family now because it was me who took him to the kart track for the first time. Victor immediately was having a different experience there. He wanted to know what his lap times were and how to improve them, and was a little bit more serious about it, wanting to come back the next day, and soon after asking us how to continue to do that. One day he looked at us and said, I really want to be a race car driver.
The first championship that we went to, I thought it was like a local championship, something easy, something simple. I had no idea that thing was an international championship, a pretty famous one to begin with. So here we are going through this thing. My impression when I get there is like, what are we doing here again? It was kind of racing in the middle, fighting to be in the front. He couldn't get to the front. There's no way. But he actually wasn't in the back. That was a victory. And in the end, for me, it was frustrating. And I know it was frustrating for Victor too. We all expected a little better. But as we were coming back from this whole weekend of racing, 2 weekends of racing, as we were coming back, I asked him, we were driving in the car, just the two of us, and I asked him, I said, so how do you think it went? You know, I knew he knew it wasn't that good, okay? Because if you're not in the top, you know it's not that good. So I kept that to myself, but I wanted to hear his impression. So he thought for a little bit, and then he said, yeah, I think I was kind of bad. And then I said, son, here's the truth. This is kind of bad, what it looks like. You were right here, bro. You have to work really, really hard to just become bad at it. And that's where we are right now when we look at this deal. And my question to you is, do you really want to keep doing this? Or should we start looking for something else and do karting just for fun? I wanted to challenge him to see what he was all about. And at the end, he took a while to answer my question. It was like a life-defining moment question. But then he slammed on the car and then he said, you know what, Dad? I'm going to keep doing this until I'm at the top. When he did that kind of commitment, I knew we were on the hook to keep going on this journey as far as we can go.
Eu posso dizer uma coisa para vocês?
Ele talvez ainda não é um campeão da Indy hoje, mas isso está na mente dele. E ele vai fazer até dar certo, e a gente vai fazer até dar certo.
It was amazing to be at the Brazilianers convention. Just so many people in one place together. Obviously, we did the video and the presentation about my racing and my driving, and I felt so much support in that moment with those people there. Obviously, so many people signed the scarf. I can't wait to bring it up on the podium soon. But just signing autographs and feeling the support from them was amazing. And it's really awesome to be able to see. Obviously on social media you get support and people liking and posting and commenting about your driving and your stuff, but to be there and feel it in person it's a completely different experience, and it was really awesome.
Victor was born with a heart condition called tetralogy of Fallot. So you could say he came into the world already making a splash. So it was a surprise when he was born. Hours after I gave birth, I got the news that he had to be taken on a helicopter to a different hospital, and he was probably going to have a surgery the next day, open heart surgery. It ended up not being the next day. It was 5 days later, but still tiny baby, open heart surgery. It was kind of crazy. He was in the hospital for a total of 12 days, so like a week after the surgery. And then he had another surgery at 4 years old.
So I drive the number 88, and that's because actually of Dale Earnhardt Jr. I don't think a lot of people know that. When I was like 9, I was part of Make-A-Wish, and I was a super big NASCAR fan. Not so much now. I don't watch as much. I'm more into open wheel, but back then I was a huge NASCAR fan, and my wish was to go see Dale Earnhardt Jr. Race. And I actually went there on his second last ever race, or Cup Series race, in his full-time career, which is kind of cool. I got to meet him, and so I was always big into racing. I really only started taking it serious only about 3 years ago. I was 16. I just went to do like an arrive and drive day in Miami, and it was one of those things I kind of got a little bit hooked on. I just wanted to keep going back over and over. And then, we started thinking about how can we make it a thing, like a career, or not just a career, but just to be a little more into it. So I started working with a mechanic. I got a used cart, and from there it just starts spiraling. We were doing well. During the middle of the race, we had some good pace. We were able to make two more positions during the middle of the race until a second caution came out. So all things considered, we were looking pretty good for where we had started, and we were moving up. We were making the right things happen. But unfortunately, during the second restart, we had contact with our teammate, which took us both to the wall, ended up retiring both of us from the race.
Victor Couto, I think, gets into the curve on the corner end.
One more lap. Shitty weekend. Okay, let's talk about Mid-Ohio. Let's talk about Mid-Ohio. Mid-Ohio. Ooh, that track. Something happened in Mid-Ohio. I think I jinxed it. But I will be honest, I did not say it to anybody. This is the first time it's going on video. But as I was driving to Mid-Ohio, I thought to myself, you know what? We have not even used the insurance yet. So far, so good. No crashes, no major damage. Wow, that's awesome. 3 more weekends to go. Really cool.
We never want to have a crash in racing. It's one of the hardest parts of racing. My perspective is I'm not ever really fearful for his safety. I don't think I could do this if I was, because it's a lot. It will be a lot of emotions, and it's a lot of every time he's on track, there is, technically a risk. So it will be really hard to feel really fearful. And I think the reason why I'm more at ease, actually, there's 2 reasons. One is, I think because of what happened with him when he was born, and we went through something so difficult and so risky, and open heart surgery in a little baby and then in a 4-year-old. As a mom, I think when something like that happens, you can go one or two directions. You can become like really protective and maybe even wrap the kid in bubble wrap kind of attitude, or you can be like, I think we went through the worst that a family and a mom can go through. Everything will be easier after this, and I think I went more of that direction.
Remember when I said that when he started the journey, he was worse than bad, he had to work hard to become bad at it? I'm actually very proud of him. He did a lot of self-development, a lot of improvement, physical workouts, a lot of track improvement, a lot of knowledge. He's in a much better headspace right now. And the proof is in the pudding, right? So he's, right now as we speak and recording this, he's on 5th for the championship of USF Juniors, which is a pretty tough championship. There is a lot of karting champions, a lot of generational race car champions in that grid. There's over 20 cars in the grid, and he's in the top 5th in that position. I think he's at the top level of his game right now, which is to say a lot for somebody who started such a short time ago. He was 16 when he started to do that. He had no prior experience. Now at 19, top 5th in the championship, well-known across the United States. It's a pretty good improvement for sure. He's at the top of his game right now.
So yeah, racing can be like that. Sometimes you're having a good race, and then out of nowhere, you just end up in the wall, and that's the weekend over, which sucks, honestly. It was looking good, and for it to just go wrong, I think it blows for everybody involved. So yeah, I was not very happy with that, but that's racing. The pursuit of getting better and being faster and competing, and that's what's brought me here, and I think that's what's going to carry me, for the rest of my career.